Reg Harrison was one of the youngest members of the 1946 FA Cup winning team. He was just 22. His death means there are now no survivors from the Derby County team that beat Charlton Athletic 4-1 at Wembley on April the 27th. Reginald Frederick Harrison was Derby through and through. He was born in Normanton in May 1923 and left Chaddesden School at 14 to become a decorator before serving with the Royal Engineers. He recalled how he was given time off, though, to still play football when he was in the services. What were you doing at the time besides playing football?
I was in the army.
Did you manage to get enough time off then to play the games?
You got every week off.
How did you manage to wangle that?
Got every Saturday off, rather. I just think they just signed about things, and I think they all got permission, these pros.
After playing for Derby Corinthians, he signed for the Rams in 1944, and 2 years later found himself in the Wembley winning team. Do you remember the day of the final against Charlton?
Getting to Wembley and just seeing the crowd walking and the bus just having to trail in. Before the game as well, getting introduced to different people. But the actual game, you could remember bits, but not a lot of it.
What do you remember?
I remember Stampy scoring. I had one that he tipped over the bar.
In a 9-year career, he made 281 appearances, scoring 59 goals before joining non-league Boston United. In December 1955, Reg Harrison was one of 6 former Derby players in the Boston team that won 6-1 at the baseball ground in a second-round FA Cup tie. It was a huge shock. The diminutive winger finally hung up his boots in 1962 before trying his hand at football management with Long Eaton United and Alfreton Town. Reg became a regular visitor to the baseball ground and Pride Park, but his contribution to local football, particularly in the Alveston area, is widely remembered.
You know, it's one of our own, and he's an icon. And he's not just an icon with the people that watched him in his generation, but the number of kids that this guy inspired after he left the club. I think he did more for football after he left Derby County locally than even his time with the club. From youth clubs to football teams to coaching and inspiring youth for the council. So many accolades that you can throw at this guy, and he never had any airs and graces, he was just Reg. But I look at that Pathé News clip, and if any of the Derby fans haven't seen it, they should hunt it out. And you see this guy's speed. He'd been, 22 years of age probably at the time, and he's speeding down the right wing. Even today, that pace is pretty frightening to see. But he's doing it in boots that our players wouldn't even think about wearing today. So heaven knows what he could do if he had a modern pair of football boots on.
In February of 2019, Reg Harrison's contribution to local football was recognised by Derby City Council, who awarded him Freedom of the City.
You know, the guy's an icon in Derby. He's known as Reg, you know, as I said, in Stockbrook Street, his building there that he opened up as a youth centre is still known as Reg's. And everywhere you go, it's Reg Harrison. And it's great to see him at the game every Saturday. He's stayed in Derby, he's been true to his roots and everything else, and he came back to work for the then Borough Council, as it was, not the city, and he went through and you know, as a youth worker, and people really respected him on what he did football-wise and everything. You know, there's some big junior football clubs out there that Reg set up and are still going today.